Today I'm going to discuss Inquietude from Burgmuller's 25 Progressive Pieces, and I've picked this one because it has a redundant grouping of 3/16 notes. They're slurred together all the way through with rests in between them. Now the left hand plays on the rest with very punctuated staccato chords. They spring into the groupings of three, and the wrist forward motion is very, very appropriate here, because it propels you through the piece with this relaxed forward motion. You don't want to freeze your hand or get tense. I will do this in a step-by-step way from slow practice to finally playing the piece in tempo. Rest. Now the left hand again is the little springboard into that, so that this won't come pounding down, because this is the very first, you could say the very first part of the beat. So and forward. Your crescendo can be do-li-do, do-li-do, do-li-do. Now the second section, after you repeat that first section, goes into the relative major, so that's a brighter sound. Now you have to look at the relationships in the bass of what you're leaning on, what you're relaxing a little. You start with the G major chord. That's all going to feed into what's in the right hand. You're still using that motion where your wrist is a little bit lower and moves forward. It has to be lower to move forward. If you start here, you get trapped and you get cramped. There's nothing you can do. So you have to gauge, where do I feel good about rolling forward? I don't want to be too far down, because that's not very good. And I don't want to be forward because I can't go any more forward. So here comes the playing. Resolution there. Now he expands the interval, but he has the same shape. Now here's where the thumb has to be very, very cushy and not pokey. That's the secondary dominant. Back to the, it's a primary dominant in relation to the key, but in this section it's a secondary dominant because this is in G major, now it goes to the relative minor. Now he does go back to the home key, which is crescendo there, but even though there was a crescendo, you shape it the same way. You just put a little bit more weight, your upper body weight or your upper arm weight, your weight of from here down into the keys. So you get the forte. You're not really trying to grab these notes and get all in knots and use too much energy. You're just kind of transferring weight down. Most people try too hard to get the results they need. They use the minimum amount of energy to get the maximum amount of results that you want. So when you do that crescendo, you are transferring weight. I'm going deeper into the keys. Preserving the shape of everything. So that's basically it. Now at the very end you have a coda, and things change a little bit because the left hand is no longer having this bounce, which it had before. Suddenly certainly has a legato line in the left hand. That changes the feeling about it. It's forte, but you're still shaping the right arm. And then comes back to short. Then and forward, short.